Be crazy if you want, but I've never liked store-bought pesto.
Wow, Susie, that is actually crazy as hell. It kind of reminds me of the first and the only time I ever went on a coffee date. So I showed up at the Starbucks after talking to this guy, I don't know, about a week, maybe a little bit over a week. And we decided that we were going to meet up and get to know each other. Well, I showed up first. He texted me that he was running a little bit late. So I went inside the Starbucks and I ordered myself a drink and sat down. Well, when he showed up, he came through the door, he spotted me, and he came to sit at my table. The first thing that he asked me was what I had for breakfast this morning. Well, I told him that for breakfast, I normally have coffee. And immediately he breaks out into this rant of how that is unhealthy, that I should do better, and that I should really be fueling my body with something other than coffee. And I was like, okay, cool, and tried to change the subject. Well, he wasn't having it because he proceeded to break out his phone and started showing me before and after photos of how much weight he had lost in the past couple of years. Again, it was pretty strange. So this time, instead of changing the subject, I told him I would like to talk about something else. Then he broke into, well, this is what I do. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a health coach. And don't you think that you should listen to what I'm saying because, I'm an expert in this area? I told him, hey, I get it. You're passionate about this. I had just graduated from pharmacy school. So I understand being passionate about what it is that you do. So I told him, it would kind of be the same as me talking about, his cholesterol numbers or wanting to take his blood pressure on a date. It just wasn't first date conversation. This man proceeded to then look at me and tell me that my arms wouldn't be so flabby if I ate breakfast in the morning. At that point, I started quietly packing my crap up because I had brought, my laptop and things like that because it was Starbucks. I excused myself and headed for the door. And he chased me. And by the time I got to my car and pulled out of the parking lot, with him still dumbfounded, looking like he didn't understand what had just happened, I started to get dozens of text messages. At first, they were rude and out of pocket, but the longer he kept sending text messages and the longer I didn't respond, then they started to get super interesting. He started telling me how he felt intimidated because when he showed up to the date, I was clearly 3 to 4 inches taller than him. He thought I wouldn't like him, I wouldn't be interested in him because I was so tall and he was so short. He told me that he'd never experienced a woman walking out on a date before. He began to apologize profusely and beg me to come back on another date, to which I absolutely refused, and I went in on him for wasting my time in the first place. And through this whole experience, I realized there are some people out there that just would prefer you to be mean to them. Like, that's how they get off. That's the only way you're going to be able to keep them in line. And I pretty much told him that there's no way that I would ever go out on a date with him because in order for him to be a nice person to me, I was going to have to give him hell for the rest of my life. And that's something that I'm very good at. But it's not something that I want to choose to do long term. Like, who wants to be mean to somebody just so they can be nice? But the craziest part about this experience was that he actually admitted that he was on the dating apps looking for clients for his business as a personal trainer. So ladies, coffee dates are not worth it.